Fine, fine. How is the weather today in Minnesota or in Mankato?
It's kind of overcast, but we're warmer. Um, I think spring is turning the corner for us.
Good, good.
How's the weather there?
Relatively cold to the season, but reasonable, I would say. It is still
That is
cold, but it's okay. It's okay. Everybody's waiting for spring. Yes.
Yeah, I can tell the animals are scurrying about everywhere, all excited.
I
Geese
some
are flying
Yes,
by.
yes.
Go ahead.
I saw like new cats coming. Like
New cats.
new cats are coming. Yes, appeared from nowhere. Like new in the neighborhood, like new immigrants. But very very nice. Nice to see new cats. Yes.
Yeah. So you had a chance to greet one or two?
Yes, we saw two in the morning. They came one after the other. The first was named Leopard because he was really, really beautiful like a leopard. And his friend was Ginger. But they were new.
Ginger.
Yes, they were new.
Ah, very nice. Ah,
Here's Rodrigo. Good morning, Rodrigo.
Good morning, Etty. Shalom, shalom, Jeff.
How
shalom,
are
shalom.
Shalom, Rodrigo, and Shalom, Lisiani. How is the weather today in Porto Alegre?
Today it's a very beautiful day. The sun is shining. It's very warm. The temperature is very, very nice. It's a beautiful day, really.
Good to hear. Good to
Bom
hear.
dia, Ed.
Bom dia, Lisiane.
Bom dia, tudo de bom.
Uh,
Nice.
yeah, she wish the best for all of you.
Thank you very much. I'm very happy to hear you. And good afternoon, Victoria on YouTube, and the other friends who decide to be silent at the moment on YouTube. So, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. We are very happy that you're here. And if it's okay with you, we can move to the whiteboard. Yes, let's look into the whiteboard and see what or whom do we meet and with what would here Jill is here. That's a surprise, Jill.
Hello, everybody. How are you doing?
Hello. Good morning. How are you today, Jill?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. It's good to hear you.
Good to hear you too. And what would you like to start with, Jill?
Um, Text. I think
Text.
I think
That
I pick that every time.
that's a surprise. Yes. Okay, so let's move the text also for people on YouTube. Let's focus. I would like to see that it reflects also for YouTubers as coherent and clear. Is it good for you, Jill, the letters?
Yes, perfect. It says, I am distressed for thee, my brother Jonathan. Very pleasant hast thou been unto me. Wonderful was thy love to me, passing the love of women.
Thank you so much. This
Mhm.
verse, thank you, Jill. This verse comes from the lamentation that David says about the death of Saul and Jonathan, his son. There is a dear expression of love that David feels for Jonathan. Can you can you think of what kind of relation is it? Usually what people think when they read this verse, people of the world, when they read this verse, what do they think? Oh, what everybody is thinking now. What kind of relation do they have between them?
They are friends.
They are friends. They are friends.
Yeah.
Yes.
Deep friends.
Deep friends. But how deep? We shall look into their names to see how deep is their friendship. So, let's write the name Jonathan in Hebrew. Jonathan is written, one second, I'll pick a good ink, one second. Yehonatan, Natan. This is the name Jonathan. Did I write it? Yes, Jonathan. Yes. And David. I will write David here for a reason. David. This is David. When we say the letters of the name Yehonatan, Jonathan, how can we read the name? Or how can we divide the name into two parts? And look
Yahoo.
Yes, very good.
We get the three first letters of the tetragrammaton, Yahoo,
Yes.
and we get the verb natan, which means given, something like
Yes, very good. There are two parts, Yeho and Natan gave. He already gave Natan, Nathan. Yeho or Yehu is three letters of the tetragrammaton, and Natan he gave, or Nathan as a name. What is the value of Nathan or Natan?
500.
500.
that. Yes.
So we can relate to Nathan as 500, or without the zero. How can we relate to Nathan without the two zeros? We can relate to it as 5. Good.
Full perspective.
Full perspective. Now, which letter in the Hebrew alphabet we can write as 5 or mark as 5?
Letter Hey.
Letter
A.
A. So, instead of writing the second part of the name Nathan or Natan, which is 500, which is 5, we can write it as Hey. Now,
Now we've got the whole thing.
Yes, now we got the whole
Yeah.
thing. Yes, one tetragrammaton. Now, remember this, let's move to the name David. What is the value of the name David?
14.
14. Yes, it is 14. And how can we write 14?
1 to 4 or even 5, I suppose.
Yes, 1 to 4 or 5. So we can, which letter will fit, or letters will fit the 14 in Hebrew? It's good. It's good what you said.
Yad.
Yes, Daled.
Yad.
Yod and Daled. It is Hey.
Uh-huh.
Yod and Daled is 1 to 4, but also together it's like 5. So
Yes.
instead of writing David in this way, Daled Vav Daled, or 4 6 4, we can write it as 14, or as in a hidden perspective, write letter Hey. Inside is 1 to 4 or 14. So, what happens here? David, in this case, equals what?
Nathan.
Equals Nathan. And when they unite, David and, so to speak, Yehonatan, is a reunion of the letters of the name, the tetragrammaton. So whenever they meet, there is a reunion of the letters. Do we understand this perspective?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
And since the Tetragrammaton is the hidden name of God, this is his hidden name. This is the being is hidden. Now, let's make it even harder. Why does David say in this verse of lamentation that the love that he feels, this is the Hebrew says, I did not check the English, how does it sound? Passing, yes. Why this is wonderful, the Hebrew says, your love, he says, I'm sorry about you, tsar li alecha, I'm sorry about you, my brother Jonathan. You are very pleasant, you were very pleasant to me dearly. Your love is wonderful, love for me more than the love of women. Now, why would David say such a thing? What is different, or why the love of Jonathan is more wonderful, more dear, more miraculous than the love of women? And this is not biological women, please.
It's not romantic,
No. No.
for one.
No. Please look at this as the name, the Tetragrammaton, as we wrote here, it's the hidden, this is the hidden name of God, his being mode, or our being. This is the hidden name. But what does David mean by the love of women? And I will write women in Hebrew, and we shall decode it. Yes, yes, Jeff.
I would guess that it's because it's not material. It's on the level of the soul.
Yes, yes, yes. This is true. This is true. This is true. It's on a soul level.
Mm-hmm.
It's not revealed. It's not. Let's
Right.
look into the word women in Hebrew, and this is not biological again, because we're looking into the letters. Let's see what value do we have. Nashim are women. Nashim. Noon is 50, 300, 10, and 40. How much do we have?
400.
400. So, what is the difference between the love of David to Jonathan, and why it is more pleasant to him or wonderful to him than the love of women?
Because the 400 again is in the level of the revealed or the material,
Yes.
and they are in the level of the temple.
Yes, excellent. Yes. They're in the level of the one. Their names are composed together, the Tetragrammaton, or the level of the temple, yes, the completion, and so to speak, the women, or the revealed. Yes, very good, very, very good. Was it hard to understand? Step by
No.
step? Good,
That was very clear.
good,
Yeah, I thought it was very clear too.
very good.
You
So
did a
now,
good job.
a good, this is Rabbi Isaac Luria. This is from a sage that lived in the 16th century, 500 years before our time. And
Wow.
yes, yes, we're still reading his books, what is written there. He did not write them, he was speaking by heart, oral Torah.
Wow.
His student,
Oh.
Rabbi Chaim Vital, wrote it, like 16 volumes. Each sentence to understand, not 16 volumes of writing, but each sentence which is written in one of those books to understand takes lifetime. So whenever we find a pearl, we bring it to class. Those are the secrets of the Torah. It's the secrets or the secrets relation between the letters and the qualities. Yes.
Mhm.
Now, with your permission, I would like to move to Rembrandt.
Yes.
And let's focus. I hope on YouTube we can put. Hey, Victoria, thank you for writing. I noticed. Thank you so much. Victoria is writing. It's beautiful. I often feel this way with people with some kind of letters in their names. So strange, as if their names have. And now YouTube just 1 second dropped. I have to repeat.
As
The
if
page.
their names have something to do with mine, but I can't explain it, he
Yeah.
said.
Yes, it is true, Victoria.
Oh, that's
This-
great.
Same spiritual root. It's true, Victoria. It is.
Love it.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And now let's try and dive into the perspective that Rembrandt, as a
Mhm.
Dutch painter, has about the relations between David and Jonathan. Let's zoom in. And who would like to describe also? Lisiane, you're welcome to join and describe what do you see. If you need, I can make a better zoom. I can go even deeper if you need. So please take a moment and each one can describe what he feels, what he sees, and if there's a need to zoom in, I will zoom in for us. Who
To
would
me, it
like-
looks like one
Yes.
of the men has his head on the other one's on his chest, like maybe he's crying or something,
Yes,
and the other one is just like holding him.
yes. And who is holding who? What do you think? According even to the perspective of the letters that we just review, try to take a course, because everything is open. Everything is open.
Well, it seems like if Jonathan lost his father Saul, then David is consoling Jonathan about his loss.
Mhm.
That's the way it looked. And we have, excuse me, we have contrasting colors of blue. And I don't know if that's gold or what exact color, with a
Mhm.
little red in the waist.
Yes.
Maybe white and red. We got those three colors we talked about:
Yes.
blue, white, and red.
Let's look a bit to the expression of the one who holds an embrace and maybe contains the feeling. So, Jeff, what would you say? Who is who? Victoria is
Oh,
right.
I could be wrong easily, but I'm thinking David's holding Jonathan. Maybe it's the other way around.
Yes, it is maybe David holding Jonathan. Maybe. It seems to me. Yes, it is interesting. Now, there is a. Did you read about the relations between them? And because Jonathan was the son of Saul, and Saul, I don't know how to say this in English, he was a king, and Jonathan was the king's son. But Shaul was hunting David.
Right.
And though Shaul was hunting David, the friendship between Jonathan and David did not break, but also increased. So according to this triangle of relations, and let's try to look through Rembrandt's perspective, because this is the artist's perspective. What is the relation now between David, Jonathan, as regarded to Shaul and to the letters?
I was thinking about this yesterday a little bit in terms of, Saul being the first king, but he was a Benjamite, and David's of the tribe of Judah, and you would expect the first king to be of Judah. We have that Benjamin Judah relationship, and then even with Jonathan, his son, we've got that Benjamin Judah relationship. And I know you guys were kind of diving into that yesterday a little bit as far as Judah and Benjamin go.
Yes.
So I don't know if you're aiming at anything like that today.
I'm asking, this is very interesting because David, you say David is from Judah, and Shaul and Jonathan are from the Benjamin. But yes, very good. And who are the mothers? Judah and Benjamin are the children, but who? Yes, Rodrigo?
Leah is the mother of Judah, and Rachel
Yes.
is the mother of Benjamin.
Yes,
Right.
yes.
Right.
So Leah is the mother of Judah, and we can even say that Leah is the mother of David. Is that right?
Yes.
Yes. And Rachel is the mother of Jonathan. Is it right?
Yes.
Now, who is embracing who? And who is the tree of life? From the wives, let's go back in the memory. The wives of Jacob, who is considered to be the tree of life, and who is considered to be the tree of knowledge between Rachel and Leah?
Leah, go ahead, Rodrigo.
Go ahead, you, Jeff, please. Go ahead, you, please.
That's okay. That's okay. Leah is the tree of life, and Rachel is the tree of knowledge.
Yes, very good. Now, so who is hugging who? Who's containing who? Because we say that Leah is the tree of life and Rachel is the tree of knowledge. And David is the son of Leah, which is the tree of life. Now, who's holding who? Who's containing who?
Go ahead, Rodrigo.
No, I'm just thinking, and it's hard to me express myself, but I believe that the tree of life embraces the tree of knowledge.
Yes, the tree of life embraces the tree of knowledge. That's correct. This is why the tree of knowledge has a red color, like we see on his belt, or his something is tied to his middle part, and David is in the blue. And David, which comes from Leah, which comes from Judah, which comes from Leah, the tree of life, the hidden, embraces, holds, loves the tree of knowledge. Interestingly, the father of Jonathan, Shaul, cannot contain his son. Do you understand this?
It is interesting.
Yes, because now David is a father, is a father. I mean, this is interesting because this is Rembrandt. We're trying to see the relations through his eyes, because he put it in an art form. He expressed his.
And he knew Hebrew, you said.
Yes, he learned Hebrew. Yes, he did.
Yeah, he learned it.
And philosophy and theosophy. Yes, he was deep, very deep person.
Wow.
So
That's great.
Yes. So David holds Jonathan. This is one perspective. A second perspective is the future king holds the one or the son who lost his kingdom. Another one is the tree of life is holding the tree of knowledge, and or is the source of the tree of knowledge. And another one is that David is like a father figure for Jonathan, because Shaul, as a person who suffers from mania depressia, how do you call it? Let's say like this, with mood swings, yes?
Yeah, he's bipolar, maybe.
Yes, yes. He cannot contain Jonathan. So David does. Let's look at the expression. Let's focus, and please feel free. I see that Victoria is writing, I would think according to the turban it could be Jonathan because of royalty background. Thank you. Let's look into the face. Look at the expression, and also Lisiani can participate, please. What? I'm focusing on the expression, please. Look at his eyes, look at his eyebrows, the nose, the lips, his eyelashes. Eyelashes? His eyelashes.
You can see the eyelashes?
Of David?
Yeah.
Eyelids and eyelashes. Please look at them, please. Eyelids. What is happening?
Well, they seem closed. His eyelids seem closed.
Mm-hmm.
At least from what I can see. Maybe they're not completely closed, but I can't. It's dark, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you can see it better.
Yes.
To me, it looks like he's kind of looking down.
He's looking down. Okay. What? Because he's not looking to the eyes. Because Jonathan hides his face from sorrow, or maybe he's crying on his chest, his heart. When he hugs him, when he contains Jonathan in his sorrow, in his sadness, his eyes, David's eyes, are not completely closed, like let's say 3/4, but what kind of expression? Try to read the facial expression of David. What is going through him when he contains the pain of Jonathan? Jonathan has triple pain. Not to count at the moment, but the relation with the father is not good. His father is chasing David. He cannot be friends with David. His father is not stable. What kind of expression Rembrandt put in front of us? What is David feeling at the moment? What is he thinking when he holds Jonathan? And we say that he is like a father figure for him, on top of everything, according to Rembrandt.
It seems like he's having empathy and compassion for his friend, and they are such deep friends. This would be just natural for him to feel the pain and console his friend. But he's not distraught.
Is he thinking? Look at his forehead. Look at his lips. Is he thinking? Is he feeling? Does he hold his feeling not to overflow? What is crossing him at this moment?
To me, it just looks like it's like he understands what's going on, and he's just kind of, because he looks like he's glanced down, but maybe he's not completely looking at him, maybe just off in his thought, maybe kind of feeling what he feels at the time, but not really overcome himself.
Because in a way, like there are two parts of David. There is from the nose here or from the cheeks, and the mouth is like the feelings. He holds his feelings. He holds Jonathan, he holds his feeling, but here is also thinking.
Yeah.
Gente,
Yes, 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 Lisiane, yes.
Davi está abraçando como se fosse como um pai abraça um filho.
Lisiane said that David embraces Jonathan as a father embraces a son.
Yes, yes. And try to ask Lisiane what does she read from David face expression? What can she see? If she can penetrate to his feelings or thoughts, ask her, please.
Querendo consolar. Que,
Consolate, David is consolate, comfort, offer comfort to Jonathan.
Yes, yes. Thank you. Thank you so much. This is a beautiful expression with all the pain, that there is a harmonious moment between feeling, containing, but also thinking very, very deeply. This is a very long range perspective that David has.
Yes. He knows there's a purpose in all of it, because he has a broad perspective on it. His thoughts are more than just on the emotions, perhaps.
Yes, yes,
Going beyond the emotions,
yes.
going to the big picture of it all. What this means in a bigger picture.
Look at the hair. What is difference between the hair of Jonathan and to the hair of David? What Rembrandt wants to communicate to us by the way he portrays the hair, because they have different hair style. How did he stylize David, head and hair, and how did he with Jonathan? Can you express it?
The David's hair is covered. It's hidden. We cannot see the hair, just a little part. And the Jonathan's hair is, we can see it's appears more, and the David's hair is stuck. I don't know if it's right to use this word, but it's stuck. And Jonathan's hair is untied or something like that. Release.
Yes.
I don't know if it's right, but it's what I see.
Yes. Does Jonathan has a decoration? Wears a decoration on his hair? Do you see a decoration on Jonathan's hair here? Do you see?
Yes.
Yes.
That's like a gold band around the top of his head.
Yes, yes, the tree, it's interesting because there is a relation to the tree of knowledge, to the appearance. There's a long hair. This is the first thing, and it's exposed like the tree of knowledge, revealed. And also decoration. While David, like Rodrigo was saying, David had his cover, and we see maybe the sideburns a bit, but all in all, everything is covered, is concealed. This is another aspect. In a way, Jonathan's hairstyle is reminding me how artists, painters used to paint, and also the lords used to paint Joseph. Joseph in the lore used to play with the curls, used to have long hair, and to play with the finger with his curls, making them beautiful like girls do. He used to make his hair. And yes, this is the tree. The tree of knowledge always wants to, so to speak, to look beautiful. Yes?
Yeah, to be flamboyant and
Yes.
flowing and all of that, to catch attention.
Yes. So this is very interesting because the head of David is more contained. You can say with a turban, with a ribbon, it's just tied up with many knots or a certain kind of binding. And his feelings and his thoughts are more contained. While Jonathan is completely wide open, his expressions of feelings. Now let's look at their dressing. How do they dress and how Rembrandt expressed their feelings, emotions, personalities by their dressing. Now, I took a bit zoomed out that we could see their dressing. What is the, how do you say, sense that you can get from their dressing?
Jonathan's is more ornate, a little bit more gold and kind of, I would say, more fancy versus David's is a little bit more conservative and more muted.
Yes.
And goes to his feet.
Yes. 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 And what about the length of their dressing, the length? And how does this reflect their way of thinking?
David's goes almost to his feet. Jonathan goes to his knees. And so I just think it's David is just, if I'm getting their names right, I'm sorry, is more conservative. The longer dress is more conservative. He's more covered up, less exposed.
And who is carrying weapon and who's not?
Jonathan has a sword.
Yes.
And, yeah.
Jonathan, this is interesting perspective. Jonathan is armed. He has a sword, but he is crying. And David has no armor at all, and he's holding Jonathan. Now, questions regarding the painting or in general, what comes to your mind and heart?
Eti,
Yes.
I want to bring another perspective. I don't know if it's right, but for example, Jonathan has a sword and remembers me at the letter Vav. And also the name Jonathan has the value of 521, and it's almost 20 times the tetragrammaton and 10 times the band.
Yes.
The band. And I just try to fit this informations here. I don't know because David is related with the second rei, the Malchut.
Yes.
And I don't know because yesterday we talked about Benjamin and we see that he is located in Binah. and I try to fit where Jonathan, how can I say, if we put Jonathan in that scheme of tree of life, which Sephira or which letter, where is he in the tree of life? Is in this what I thinking about? Who Jonathan represents in the 4 letters of the Tetragrammaton? This is what I think. I don't know. This is the perspective.
This
I
is-
look the peak, and I see the Malchut, the David Malchut embraces, I don't know, the Vav or also the second Rei. I don't know if they are at the same plane or where is Jonathan in this perspective. I don't know if it's possible to put Jonathan in this perspective. Where is
Yes, let's look
him?
into it. There is a verse that, how do you say, Hika Shaul ba'alafav, like Shaul was beating the enemy with thousands, and David was beating the enemy with 10,000. Do you remember this verse?
Yes.
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 So let's write it. Shaul ba'alafav in the thousands. David berivevotav, it means in the 10,000. This is what the verse says. I write it combination of Hebrew and English, a bit numbers. Now, according to this verse, if you read this verse, and we look at the tree of life, and the Tetragrammaton as a name, we have Yod, Hey, Vav, Hey, and here there's a crown, because it's like 0, because the crown is Ein Sof, it's like nothing. So Shaul was beating the enemy ba'alafav. Alafav is not just thousands, but also Aleph. And as the verse says, I will teach you wisdom. Alfecha chokhmah. Teaches is always like Aleph. Alfecha is like ulpan. Ulpan in Hebrew is to teach, from Aleph to teach. So Shaul is here, according to this verse. Yes, who would like to speak? I heard somebody's entering. Fernando is here, and Felipe, I'm sorry that I did not see you. Oh, I'm sorry.
Greetings.
Yes, good morning to you.
Shalom,
I'm
shalom,
sorry
please.
that I did not see
No.
you.
I just entered it. Thank you.
And Fernando, I'm so sorry that I did not hear you. I'm so sorry. I was diving into the painting. Just. So according to this verse, Hika Shaul ba'alafav, Shaul is here in wisdom. Wisdom, here. Wisdom. And this is Shaul. And this is Aleph, Aleph or Aleph. Yes, this is Shaul, Saul. And David, berivevotav, David is here. David is in crown. The 10,000. What does it mean, 10,000? 10 in the power of 4. 10 in the power of 4, 10 double 10 double 10 double 10 is like 10 in the power of 4. But in a lateral thinking, it doesn't matter. 10 in the power of 4 is like 1 to 4. So David is here. David is here in crown. Shaul is in wisdom. This is why he was chosen to be the first king. And we could say that Jonathan is here. We could say this is one option.
Directly in the middle, but below David. Is that what you're showing?
He is the son, yeah. He is the son, like, because this is one of perspective that Rodrigo was taking. That he took his value as 521, as 10 times son. This is an option. So here we have the name, the tetragrammaton in the filling of hay. It gives us 52 as a son. 52. And David as a crown holds Jonathan. But Jonathan also has a relation to Shaul, because the hay here also has a foot, and the foot of the hay is the yod of Shaul. This is one perspective. Of course, there are many more. Since Rodrigo was asking, he was trying to integrate what we learned yesterday. Because yesterday Fernando asked about Benjamin, and so.
Yes.
Thank you, Echi. Thank you very much.
You're most welcome. And everybody is welcome to join. Fernando, Felipe. Please ask, please review if you have questions. Jill.
Shalom.
I have a question.
Good morning.
Yeah.
Shalom, shalom, good
Can you
morning.
hear me?
Yes, we can.
Oh, sorry. My mic wasn't working. Please, Jill, feel free.
Oh, I was just going to ask if what you thought about the feather that was in on David's cap.
Okay. So, Felipe and Fernando, please, what do you think about the feather? And if you noticed Rembrandt paintings we were reviewing a few of his paintings, whenever he uses the feather, please, what is your impression? What is the feather? It's an open question. Victoria, what is the feather? What does it remind you of? There is no certain answer, just we can think of it.
It's a kind of a distinction, symbol of this distinction, I guess.
Mm-hmm. What does it give to the person who wears this turban or the scarf that he has a feather or something that goes up in the air? What notion? If we take this symbol of a hat and a feather, and we would think in architecture perspective. Yes?
I guess I was thinking like flight or fly. That's all that I could really think.
Yes, the feather, yes, continue. So if it connects to fly or to a bird, like Victoria said here, angels and birds. Victoria says a feather reminds me of angels and birds. So if we go with this kind of thinking,
Yes.
what is escorting him with a feather or through the feather?
The spirit.
The spirit escorts him. Also, if we would think about it in architectonic, how do you say, architecture, the feather is like a tower, like above the head. And there is a verse that says that Migdal Oz Shem Hashem, the name of the Lord, is a strong tower. So there is another perspective.
And like an antenna too, to
Yes,
catch
antenna.
the
Yes, yes, excellent. I don't know, whenever I see Rembrandt's paintings, I'm just, it has such an influence. That it just, I would like just to share this with you.
Yeah. It's great. Thank you.
You're welcome. And now to your questions. If you want to share something, say something, feel free. It's open.
You know, Rodrigo asked a question yesterday, and I was kind of hoping to hear a little more discussion on it. Maybe we can do a little more now. He was wondering. He said the Zohar talks about Benjamin as sinless,
Yes.
and that really caught my attention because I didn't know that. I never heard of this perspective, and I was wondering why. Why does it say he was sinless? But I've got some thoughts and ideas about it, but I'd like to hear what you would say, Betty.
It's interesting. The question is interesting. It's regarding to the perspective that comes from the letters of his name, Benjamin. So
Yes.
we can look. We can have like how do you say, a few perspectives. I will write them down, and everybody can think and arrive to his conclusion and check with the sources. It's always good. So we have Benjamin. One second, I will increase the ink here. Benjamin. Benjamin is 162. Yes. And one of the options that we can see the number. Do you remember,
2
Fernando?
times 16 is 36.
Okay. 2 times 16. How much is it?
36, or also you have 126.
So one 1 stick at a time. So 2
Okay.
double 16, how much is it?
32, I'm sorry.
32. 32 is the value of what in Hebrew? A heart. Lev.
Yeah, Lev. Yeah.
Lev. This is one. Now, 216 is the value of Gevurah, which is overcoming, if we take it. Overcoming. This is one option, or a lion. Aryeh is also 216.
Oh, yeah. That's fascinating right there.
Yes, Oreia, seeing, so he could see in high wisdom. Reia, this is another perspective. Yirah is the fear of the Lord. Fear, I would say, or respect. And there is another one which I wanted to share with you. You say 26 is like
126. Yeah.
126, and Fernando brought yesterday, because if it's 126 like this, Fernando fill it with the letter Hey, and in this way, 1 second, I will move with the ink. We have Yod He, Vav He, and in this case we have 52. 52, and this is his, in a way, name Ben, and then we have, which is 52, and then we have Yamin, which is 110. But Yamin here, yes, do we have this Yamin as 110, and this is 11, and 11 is also Joseph, chronologically. So he is the son of the 11 in this manner. And Joseph was, how do you say, he took care of himself. He did not took the temptation of the world. This is another perspective. Another perspective that it is 260 plus 1. And this is 10 times the tetragrammaton plus the source. So there's an infinite entries to the name Benjamin. Did I answer your question?
Um, yeah, I see all the numbers and the connection to like the tetragrammaton, and I would say it seems like what you're demonstrating is that this name comes from beyond time and space
Yes.
in its factoring and
Yeah.
structure.
Yes.
It's actually infinite, so it's coming from beyond time and space. And if you're coming from beyond time and space, and coming from the spirit, indeed, you are sinless in that sense, Benjamin.
The mother, it's interesting. The mother named him Ben Oni, the son of my powers. She, in a way, located him here in Binah. But the father says this is Benjamin. He moved him to here, the son of infinite wisdom. So he's in a way he's beyond space and time.
Is that what the Zohar is saying? That because of this structure and everything, is that why it says that about Benjamin?
The Zohar brings in a way the conclusions. Not it is not all the time that the Zohar speaks about the course of thinking. Sometimes the Zohar mentions the course of thinking that brought to this conclusion or conclusions that the Zohar brings. Sometimes it is, and then we need the sages and lawyers and professors and as this is
So
interesting.
in a way, the course of you're catching it at the end of a long course of thinking, but the course of thinking, like you're saying now, involves lores and other sages' thinkings,
Yes, it's thousands.
contemplation.
Yes, it's
Yeah,
thousands of years of thinking because every lore,
yeah,
uh,
yeah.
and even the Babylonian Talmud, what people refuse to see, but this is how it is built on a mathematical or the values of letters. It is poured that during the course of time, people look at the Babylonian Talmud as a book of laws and they cut punishment and reward from it. But every law has a pure mathematical thinking. Everything.
And people refuse to see that in the Talmud, you just said, huh?
Yes, of course. Because it, how do you say, denies their power. If they can gain power from judging, from putting fear in people's heart, so they choose to do it to manifest themselves as great judges. And
Yeah.
yes, but
And in fact, they have a fear themselves of the truth, perhaps.
the truth is not pleasant because the truth empties
Yeah.
us. If a person recognizes truth, it empties us from sense of how do you say, power.
Self-importance
Yes, yes,
empties you of that.
yes.
And that's a bitter pill to swallow sometimes. If you think you got the world by its tail like a Hasurus,
Mhm.
that kind of perspective. It's like people are thinking they're going to write the script, like you're talking about yesterday. The script is written.
Yes,
We didn't write it.
no.
It's impossible for man to write such a script. It's too complex, too perfect.
That's correct. And we are just beginners. Jeff, we're just
Yeah.
beginners. There's so much into it, and every day, drop by drop, we try to expose more and more relations.
Yeah. For sure.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, yes.
Just one comment. I didn't realize till now this beautiful relation about the name filled with the letter He, which
Yes,
give us the value of this 52, which is Ben.
yes,
And it's really, really beautiful because in that scheme of Pythagoras triangle, we see that the number 5, the letter He, as the sun. So, you know, this is a relation I never had realized yet. And I thank you so much. And also, I was thinking that the only son of Jacob that mentions the letters of the of son it's Benjamin, and I was thinking because it is his last son,
yes,
and in the very last son there is a son in his own name.
yes, yes. But also in the first. Yes,
Also in the first.
yes, yes. The first son. This is interesting what you say because we can see that the seal of the names
Oh,
is
yes.
yes. The first. Who is the first son?
Reuven.
Reuven. Look, there is a son. The mother said Reuven. Reu. In English, the Ben.
Oh,
Okay, Reuven. This is the first, and the
it's
last.
light also, right?
Yes, it's light. Oh, this is what Luria says. Oh, the light of the sun. Oh, and Ben. The light of the sun. This is what it means. The light of the sun. It not just the light of the sun, it's the light of understanding. Because Ben comes from Havana, from Bina. The light of understanding. And the last is, look, this is Reuven, and the last is Ben Yamin. Reuven, this is the second, this is the first. But here we start with Ben and we end with Yamin. So the first son starts with Or, and the last ends with Yamin. Or Yamin, the light of the right side. Do you understand what I'm doing? How I look at the chain of names? Do you understand, Jill? Felipe, do you understand this kind of thinking, or shall I write it again?
Yes.
Thank you. So the first son starts with Reu or Or. Reuven starts with light, the first son of Jacob, and the last is with Yamin, the right light. So if we read, do you understand how I read it? Like we read the Torah from Bereshit. Do you understand?
Yes, it just were. I was just thinking about these letters. Yamin.
Yes.
It ends also with the Nun, with the Binah, the understanding as well.
Yes. Yes.
But could you repeat what you just explained about this
Yes.
relation, Or and Yamin?
Yes. The first son is Reuven. Look, there's a son, the mother said, Leah. Reuven, but we can read those letters as Or. Light. Is that right? This is the first son. So the first letters of his names are light, Re'u, Or. This is the 12 sons. The last one of Jacob is Ben Yamin. His name starts first with son, with Ben Yamin, the son of the right. So if we read the first name or the first letters of the first son, we get Or, light. And we read the last letters of the last son, we get Yamin, right. So if we start with the first letters and move to the last, like this, we have the combination of the light, the right light.
So we have a completion there
Yes,
in the tree of life.
yes, yes.
That's beautiful.
It's like Felipe, it's the same principle. It is the same principle as we read the Torah. The Torah starts with Bereshit. This is the same thing. Start with Bereshit, Bet, and ends to the eyes of Israel, like this,
With the Lamed.
with the Lamed. Yes, so it starts with Bet, ends with Lamed. And yes, and then we move to read from the beginning, and Lev is a heart. So the Torah is a heart, Lev. It's the same principle of with what we start and with what we end. And we can see the seal of the divine thought in the beginning and in the end.
T,
Yes.
Complete court.
Yes.
But-
yes.
in this case, if we did, I understood that you said the or Yamin, the light from right, but if you get only the letters, the last letter from Benjamin and the first letter of Reuven, we have the word Nar, which means candle.
Excellent.
Oh, very
Excellent.
good.
Excellent. Now, what is the value of Reuven? 259? I'm just shooting. Let's calculate. This is interesting relation between the two. Very good.
Yes, yes, 259.
259. I remember from Fernando's sketch of the Zohar. So 259 is Reuven, yeah? And Benjamin, how much Benjamin is? 162?
162.
But we can take it as
Yes.
what? As 261. What do we have now? $259 plus 2, yes? 500 and
520.
and what is
90.
520?
10 times Ben.
10 times Ben. 10 times Son. In the beginning, so what would you say about that?
What would you say about that, Rodrigo?
It's beautiful.
Who would write such a story?
Yeah, right. It's too perfect.
Yes, it is too perfect. But this is another Zohar that comes to me now. Those two, Reuven and Benjamin, did not participate in the selling of Joseph.
Right.
Whoa, that's incredible, Eti.
Benjamin was a little toddler, and Reuben, in this moment, in this day that they sold Joseph, he was
protested.
yes, Jeff. What was he?
He protested the
He
selling.
protested and he did not participate because in this day he was serving the father. He was helping the father. Jacob was a bit advanced in age and he was helping him. The sons, each time another son helped the father. There was arrangement. And the day they sold Joseph, he was not there. He was serving
Yeah,
the
he was-
father.
Both were innocent.
Yes.
The first and the last. We have the first and the last always
Yes.
in this,
Yes.
and they are innocent.
Mm.
First and the last are innocent.
Yes. Your questions are always amazing because they open more and more, more and more worlds. Questions so far?
Just to say thank you, Eti, for every teaching, and thank you to everybody to participate because it's a very it's a nourishment to my soul, and I believe that everybody who participates and listen nourish the soul because it's very
Thank you so much.
successful. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Lisiane, Rodrigo, Felipe, Jill, Jeff, Fernando. Victoria is here on YouTube. Thank you so much. I would
Thank
like
you.
I would like to wish you a Shabbat Shalom, good weekend, and we might be here. I cannot say what will be on Shabbat, if there will be a session or not. I'm not sure, as always, but Monday is certain. Shabbat, we shall see.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Gente,
Thank you, my
Thank you,
friends.
Lisiane. Thank you. Shalom.
Obrigado, obrigado.
Obrigada.
Shalom, shalom.
Shalom to
Shalom, my
everybody.
Shalom.